Okay, welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. I'm playing Trombone Champ on PSVR2. I was really looking forward to this game when it was announced many months ago. I thought, that is goofy as heck. That looks awesome to me. Yes, please give me a silly music rhythm game, but one where you're tooting your horn. And this is kind of significant because I actually played a trombone when I was a kid. There's footage of me now. I was actually visiting my dad, who still has the trombone in the house, so that is me playing the trombone like I did when I was in high school. So the trombone's always kind of had a nostalgic connection to me, and now I can play it in VR. So I'm going to do this now. I've played a little bit of it, and as much fun as I'm having with this game, there are some complaints I have. But let's start off. We'll just do, the initial game. Well, this is the you go through all these different stages and you unlock different tracks. I'm going to actually do not the story mode, but like the free play mode. Let's go to the beginning. Like when you first start up, you get to do some nice, easy stuff. Ode to Joy. We all know that. Thus Broke Zarathustra from 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's all good stuff. And of course, let's just fire up Oh Canada, because, I'm from Canada, so it seems only worthwhile. Let's do that here. It's funny whenever you lose those notes, because it sounds hilariously farty. And you can see it's sort of got that standard, it's got that standard Guitar Hero thing. You got the crowd to keep happy. Ooh, you don't want to miss the notes. Looks good in VR as well. There we go. And then you get a rating as to how well you do. Standard stuff we all can pretty much predict from watching the previews and stuff. How do you play this game? Well, it's a Guitar Hero-esque with the tracks coming toward your face, and you play the notes. Now, that's the fun part. That's the good part. Let me go back. One of the first things that I ran into with the early part of the game, yeah, sure, God Save the King and all that kind of stuff. I don't know some of these other songs, like Errorang or Longtail Limbo or Baboons, Trombone Skies. Like, I was very quickly hitting a wall in the early part of the game where I'm like, I don't know half of these songs. How come Oh Canada, sure, or Ode to Joy, no problem. These ones, I don't even know what these are. So that was kind of the first obstacle that I struck. But good news is, later on, you do start to get down to stuff that's a little more recognizable. Take Me Out to the Ball Game, The Old Grey Mare, She Ain't What She Used to Be, Skip to Maloo, Old MacDonald. Like, now we're getting into music that I do recognize, so thank goodness for that. I guess one of the criticisms people had was that there's a lot of public domain music here, and that makes sense. We're talking a game that they want to not have to fiddle with too many licensing issues. I'm thinking if this does really well, and I hope it does really well because I do like it, that they will have more DLC where you can download stuff, because I have seen the game came out about a year ago, flat version, on places like the Switch, and you could actually play, I don't know if it was modded or something, but people were playing things like well-known music, well-known popular songs, and I just thought, oh my god, doing that with that farty kind of trombone experience, that would be hilarious. It's not in this, at least not yet, anyway, that I have found. So I have to go through these other well-known bits of public domain music. That's fine, that's okay. But some of this stuff, again, I have never heard of Ska Bird. I don't know what that is. Luckily, some of this stuff you have actually heard, you just don't realize it. One that I ran into, Korobeniki, no idea what that is. I started playing it, and then I noticed in the write-up, it's actually worthwhile reading these things here. You'll probably recognize this famous Russian folk song from a famous puzzle game. Let me show you that one. Of course, it's Tetris. So that's what you experience in this game. It's like, oh, I actually do know this song. I just didn't know the title of it. Now this song does actually bring up one of my second complaint about this game. You do want to hit the notes well, and you have 3 different buttons you can press for it. You can press the X, which I'm doing currently. You can press the square, which is right next to it. I'm now pressing with the square. Oh, I gotta be careful. Or you can use the trigger. And honestly, the trigger is pretty good for some of these songs. Because some of these songs are getting really fast now, you'll notice. But your fingers do get kind of tired after a bit, so you do need to... Oh my god, here we go. Hang on. Okay, so yes, as these notes gets faster and faster, it starts to really wear on your fingers. And I'm worried I'm going to wear out either the X, the square, or the trigger. Because look at this. Wait a minute. Yeah, we're in the slow part. But prepare for my fingers to start falling off here. Losing it. Okay, song's over. Okay. Whew. Yes, that is my other complaint with this game. Is there are some songs like that where you are just like ramming away on this controller. And I'm worried for the longevity because you can't buy these controllers separate. I'm just like, okay, I'm hoping that's gonna work out. So yeah, it's not perfect. Now, another interesting thing you may have noticed, just got a scratch. Another thing you may have noticed is when I was listening to Without Parole talk about this game, one thing that Brian Paul brought up, and it's a very good sort of thing to watch out for, a little warning sign. Your temptation is to play it like a real trombone, to do this kind of thing, right? But your controllers might risk banging into each other. You don't need to. There's a setting in the opening part of the game where you can actually have it, instead of you have to grip this thing to make the slider, you can actually press it once and then your hand will automatically stick there. That's good. That's good because what Brian recommends is instead of doing this where you might bang your controllers against each other, you can play wide-handed. You can do it like this. In fact, let's do another one that, is it this one? Nope. Where's that one? Yeah, let's do this famous Italian song. People think of pizza, pizza, pizza. And I'll do it with my hands pretty wide open here, if I can. already losing it. And there go the fingers. We're going to stop there because you can already tell where that one's going to go. So yeah, like, you can play nice and wide open. Your fingers are going to have a heck of a time here, but at least you can do that. Like, that's what I recommend as well. Use the control where you're actually one press and you're toggled on. You're always holding the slider. What I also like, though, in addition to all this, there's a style to this game that's a lot of fun. Like, what you do with all of this, you earn coins with which you can buy stuff. You can go to the store, and this character comes up, and you can buy different trombones, I mean. You basically use the... How much money have I got? I've got almost 6,000 toots, which is the currency. With that, I can buy for 500 or 4.99. I can buy some toots. Let me do that here. And what I end up with is a bunch of new cards. And with those, you can add them to your collection, which I'll show you. There's all the cards I've got right now. Very, very cool. If you get multiples of these, you can actually unlock other trombones. You can see I have both of these ones, so I was able to unlock that one. But the cards themselves are really funny. I recommend you actually read them, because if you grab one of these, this will tell you about Gustav Mahler. This Austrian-born composer was one of the leading conductors of his time. You think, oh, it's just something musical, a bit of musical history, which it is, but they always put in a little joke about, like, hot dogs? What's this one? Yeah. Johann Strauss II. This composer did things to popularize the waltz. Sadly, his baboon-like facial hair prevented him from eating hot dogs. Like, there's all these little funny inside jokes about hot dogs going on with these characters. There's also a connection with baboons for some reason. Does this one mention? Who's got hot dogs? He could eat 9 hot dogs in one sitting. I don't think so. There's all these other side jokes about baboons, and I did notice, let me just let's go back to, and with that, again, you buy other trombones with your currency. That's a pretty cool little trick. And you learn stuff, you know, you can learn all these different things from these different cards that you're collecting. And back to the music. Again, there's this weird kind of affinity for baboons in here. Where did it go? If we go to the beginning of the game, one of the songs is called Baboons, Baboons. Maybe it's back at the... Let me go back to the story mode. I know in the first one... Of course, I can't find it now that the camera's running. I can't find it. There's a song called Baboons, 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 and I was like, I've never heard of that song before. What is that all about? Like, there's this weird... inside joke about baboons and hot dogs, so it's good for a laugh. A baboon actually shows up. Minor spoilers. There's a little bit where a baboon does show up to carry on the story. As you can see, I'm only halfway through. Anyway, this is Trombone Champ for PSVR2. I really, really like it. I am very happy. This is from Flat to VR Studios. They are working on a bunch of other stuff. The big one for me is going to be Flat Out. I played that game on the original Xbox and I love it. And I hope it's going to be a good port when they do that to PSVR 2. But honestly, for their first kick of the can, a simple, silly, farty party game. That's the other thing. You could take this. You could take somebody who doesn't know anything about VR, put them in this, have a bunch of people watch, and as they're sliding the trombone and trying to get those notes, and it sounds very silly and very farty, everybody's going to have a good laugh. It's got great mass appeal. You don't have any sensation of motion. I mean, maybe those tracks coming at people's eyes might be a little bit, but you're standing still, so that's fine. Looks great, sharp as anything, runs at, I think, 120, they say. Really, really cool. I really, really like it. So, I recommend you get Trombone Champ for PSVR 2. I'm really, really having a blast with this game, and I can't wait for it. I hope it does well. I can't wait for DLC, because... among my complaints, some of the tracks I've never heard of before. I don't get it, but I like it. As a former trombone player, I like this game, and I think you will too. I'm going to leave it there. Until next time, I'll see you down the rabbit hole.